Hello, and I'm so glad that you could join me today. We're here to do a general reading for the collective. Take what resonates, leave what does not. If it does resonate with you, leave me a comment. Share the video with someone that you think could hear it as well. Oh, we're starting off with our Mother of Swords. Now, I'm getting, we have some holiday anxiety. She is so intensely committed to providing the best situation for her family that she can possibly provide. Almost obsessively. She pays attention to every detail. She's been watching like a hawk. She wants it to be perfect. There's a lot of extra stress she's added onto herself, and as a result, it's kind of making you, I don't even want to say you, it's making this person, because for some of you this is referring to your mother figure or a mother figure in your life. For some of us this is referring to you, okay? So we're gonna try to address it from both perspectives. It can be difficult to deal with for other people, especially other people that, while they know you mean well and they know that you love them intensely, they don't see the importance in all of this, or you don't see the importance in what they're trying to do. It's not the details that matter to you, or it's not the details that matter to the rest of the family or friends or whatever the situation may be. But she is just unwavering in this. She has to do it her own way, and wants to be the best that she can present. And the anxiety and the stress that's being added to this results in high tensions. Now, especially, like, I'm not an astrologist, okay, but especially when we're in retrograde phase, we have to recognize that, like, this is just adding too much to other people. And it's difficult to speak to this type of woman, or a woman when she's in this phase, because she's pretty experienced wise and has been through it. And so she has envisioned what she wants for this. She sees it, and she is just unrelenting in making it happen, and not realizing that it's kind of adding too much. So let's just, like, for a moment, let's just consider why this is important to her. It's important to her because she didn't have it for herself, or nobody cared enough to do it in her family. She didn't have a family. Maybe she wasn't welcome at these environments. Maybe every time she did try to get involved in this kind of situation, it became a very negative, painful experience. There's some kind of pain and difficulty and stress and strain that comes with this woman's past. So the things that are important to her, and the reason she's so intensely wanting things to be a certain way, is because she didn't have it, because she thinks that it is the most important thing that she can do for the people she loves. And that's all it's about. It's about love, okay? And from that, when we're dealing with this individual, and when we're dealing with this self, make sure that the love comes first. Put the love in front. I know that it's so important to you that everything is perfect, because it gives you joy, and you've been struggling, and you've been waiting for this. This is so important to you. You have put all of this effort into this holiday season for your family, or this next endeavor for your family, whatever that may be. You've put all this tremendous amount of energy out there into this because it is important to you, and because you love them, and because they love you. But let's put love first. And when we have that in place, some of these other things we can be a little bit more cooperative with. We can be a little bit more understanding with. We want to remember that she lashes out because of pain. She lashes out because of stress and strain. But she lashes out because she has endured. And she may just be at her own breaking point. Let's just take a moment to be grateful for all the Mother of Swords in our lives who have endured so much, have gone through so much, have bent over backwards to give all of this love to the people around them, to their families, their children, their mothers and fathers. These individuals have endured so much, and that everything they do is from love. Even when it doesn't feel like that, even when they feel like, why does it matter to you? Why does it matter that you got the wrong potatoes? It doesn't matter. Well, to her, these details are the love. So we have to just remember that the ingredient here, the most important factor, is going to be the love. And so when we do need to approach her, or if we're addressing to ourselves, we're going to be patient and loving and say, I know how important this is to you, but I'm here because I love you. I'm here because you love me. And that's all we need. I love lumpy potatoes. I love instant mashed potatoes. I love canned jelly. I don't care. I don't care, because I didn't come here for some gourmet feast. I didn't come here to be showered in gifts. I did not come here because your house is perfect and you've provided and you're this excellent hostess or host. Because this is mother energy. It doesn't matter gender. This is about the love. And so when we're engaging with this individual, let's keep that love high, and let's keep that the forefront of this, because that's ultimately what matters to her, and that's all she cares about. And she's just trying so hard, and she does not necessarily see that it's not necessary, because to her it is such a big component. But if you can put the love into the situation for her, if you can recognize where the love comes into the situation, if this is you, and we're recognizing that that's ultimately what it is about, we're going to take some deep breaths. It's going to be wonderful. Just relax. What you can do, you can do. What you can't do, you can't do. And if you see her struggling and she's panicking and she's in that mode and she's lashing out and she's snapping and she's being aggressive, and take her by the hand. I love you, and I know that you care so deeply. That is why you are upset right now. And I just want you to know that we are not upset about this. And I know that you are, and I know that's because of love, but we just want you to know that we are not upset about anything, because we know that everything that you're doing is coming from love, and it's going to be perfect because of that. Because of that. That's all it needs to be, okay? So whether we're dealing with our Mother of Swords, or in some cases we are our Mother of Swords, and we're just, nothing's going right. Let's extend the love. That's what this is about. That's all that matters. Coming back into our divine feminine. The divine feminine energy is absolutely flowing right now. Some of you are starting to fully embrace the nature of the feminine, the nature of the energy of the feminine, that gentle, nurturing, healing, understanding, receptive, warm, comfortable, safe place energy. It's not just about being pretty. It's not just about wearing a dress. It's not about putting your makeup on. Femininity is in the divine femininity aspect. We're not even talking about human femininity. We're talking about the aspect of divine femininity, which has no gender. We're talking about being in a space to receive, to nurture, to heal, compassion, love, listening. It's about taking the energy that you're given and looking at it as this beautiful seed, and then saying, I know what to do with this. I know what to do with this. I can fix this. This is an opportunity for more. And I see it, because that's my nature. and I know that I can make it into more. Now, I can't keep diving into the masculine energy to make all of these things occur. You have support for that reason. And you may be balanced enough in your energy to do both aspects. But this card is coming up to say, who in life is a partner to you? Whether it is platonic, familial, or romantic, doesn't matter. Who in this life becomes the masculine when you take on this feminine role? That individual has provided a safe space for you. They've allowed you to be vulnerable. They've allowed you to trust the energy. You feel safe enough with them that you can be yourself and that you can look at something and go, oh, that's beautiful. Let's see what we can make it into. Let's see what we can do with this. There's so much more that we can offer from this. She's all ideas, and she's all like adding the nutrients. She's adding all the necessary pieces, and she's stirring and she's mixing and she's creating something that is incredibly amazing. And that's the one aspect of it, but there's the other aspect of it that will become the execution, right? Right now, this is about the divine feminine. This is about the nurturing of your ideas. This is about receiving information, whether from spirit, whether from other individuals that you're inspired by, whether it's from Pinterest, I don't care. Wherever you got your idea, you have taken this idea and you go, oh, there's so much here. I have a lot of ideas. I can do something with this. Okay, so we're focused in that aspect. We're in that mode right now. Potential, getting creative, listening and taking in so that we can pay attention to the details. You got to observe what's around you. You got to look at your resources. You got to think about how you can use those resources. You have to plan how we use those resources. Masculine energy is not good at planning preparation. Masculine energy is do. Go, go, go. Execute. Make it happen. Which is beautiful energy in its own right. We love that energy. And without that energy, divine feminine energy doesn't fully see what it could be doing, right? We need that balance of both energy. So right now we're in that receiving phase. We're receptive. We're nourishing these ideas. We're letting them grow. We're giving them space and time and safety and security so that it becomes what it needs to become. The execution time is near, and it will happen when it's time to happen. There's absolutely no need to rush this. That's another aspect. Feminine, the divine feminine is patient. She knows that good things are worth waiting for. They don't happen immediately. She doesn't chase. They don't chase. Divine feminine. They don't go after. They allow it to come to you. This is what I need, and I trust that it'll be here when I need it. I trust that it will show up. I see that, and I go and I reach for it, and it pulls away from me. No, that one wasn't mine. And that's okay, and you're comfortable and okay, and the idea of that does not feel conflicting when you're in your divine feminine. The idea of waiting for what's yours. The idea of understanding that there's a reason and a season for everything. This is a divine feminine aspect. So Spirit wants you to take some time to really become comfortable with your divine feminine energy. To sit down and nurture your ideas and nurture your love and your family and your friends. Nurture your life, nurture yourself, nurture your space. Cleanse and organize and take time to pay attention to the little details that matter so much to you. Get things ready. We're in retrograde. This is not a time to do all kinds of big life events. If you feel like or if the time is now and it is what you have to do, make sure that you've looked over carefully all of these plans and stuff. For most of us, this divine feminine energy is about sitting down in the feelings of things and allowing them to grow and allowing them to become what they can become before it's time to execute. And in that case, we will step into our masculine energy, or our masculine energy will come and approach for us, because that is the chaser. They come in and take what's theirs and do what needs to be done with it. That will come. But right now, we're planning, we're preparing, we're nurturing, we're allowing ourselves to be receptive to what comes to us, and we're appreciating and welcoming what's being brought to us without the need to compare or contrast or consider, or there's no, timing on this is the timing that happens. There is no, you're not behind, you're not rushing ahead, you're where you are right now. You're in your present, which feels so good, to just be in your present and just be who you are and allow that person to be. It's just such a freeing feeling to be able to be open and know that in your divine feminine you are safe and you are loved and you are appreciated and you are protected. So we're going to work in that divine feminine energy for a few weeks here, okay? Ooh. So we just talked about our Mother of Swords, right? And we just talked about our divine feminine. And now we're coming into the Lover card. Now, I love this card so much. The Lover is both us and the expression of our balanced self, right? We are not going to fully receive if we do not embrace our divine feminine, if we chase after, if we push, if we're constantly in a state of go, 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 do. We don't allow the balance of that. And it's for both lovers, both partners, to be able to embrace and balance both the feminine and the masculine energies within them, so that they can become the best version of the self. And then when those two lovers come together, they are just the perfect complement. It's the yin and the yang, right? The perfect complement, so that they can become one in their energy. They balance each other out. You can't expect your lover to understand you. You can't expect your lover to show up in your life if you're single. You're with your lover and you're all in your masculine and he's over there like, what is going on? You're not giving him the opportunity to do what he needs to do. Get back into your feminine energy and allow that. Step back and allow your lover to be their true selves. Now, some of you might be with an individual who is not matching any of this. It's not who we're talking about. Okay? And with the lover, I also want to be very clear. For my little aces out there, this is not about romance. And this is not about sex. Okay? This is about being truly authentic with another individual who complements you so perfectly. They create something bigger. Like, you create something bigger by being in the partnership with this individual. It doesn't have to just purely be romantic. Of course, this is usually what it is referring to, so I don't want to completely stray away from that. But for ace individuals, you have a partner in your life that complements you perfectly and allows you to feel secure and wonderful as you are. It's the same concept. It's about achieving that balance so that there is a unity that can occur. Definitely have felt myself spending far too much time in my masculine energy. Things weren't happening for me, and I was impatient. And I had not really fully embraced my feminine at that point, and so I immediately just felt like, well, the problem is the lack of the divine masculine here. So I get all up into that, and then all I'm doing is pushing away everything that I had been drawing to me. When I was able to recognize that and step back and acknowledge, like, this is not what I had been aiming for. I never intended to be all things for myself. I want and desire the perfect balance. And that's not to say I don't have that with a number of relationships I have in my life, platonic ones and familial. But when I was not balancing myself, or even then, I feel like sometimes we draw in this perfect situation when we are being our authentic selves, and then it's very easy and very too quickly happens that we start to put a little bit too much energy into the partnership itself, into the idea of the relationship. But the relationship came together because the two of you were being the best version of self. Now, in some cases, you may draw people in who are not, and they're clearly not, and if you accept them and allow them in, and it feels icky and you allow them in, you're never going to be back at your balance. You have to have that period of separation so that you can find and appreciate and revalidate your authentic self, become balanced in that divine feminine and masculine for yourself, because that balance, that perfect balance, that understanding of who you truly are and how authentic you are and how wonderful you are in that state, that vulnerability, that receptiveness is what welcomes in the match of the same caliber. We want the same caliber. You don't want to be here and bring in, you don't want that. But as soon as you get a match up here, you're no. Stay in your power. Stay in your authenticity. Stay focused on the self. That doesn't mean that you don't love other people and you don't do nice things for them. That means that you have to prioritize the self first. I often use this because it's a very common statement that people can understand in simple terms. You have to put your own oxygen mask on first before you can help someone with theirs. I know that, but they're suffocating. Okay, but if you don't put one on, you're going to be suffocating, and you might not have been able to get their mask on before you pass out. You have to focus self-worth. Okay, do I have the space? Do I have the energy? Can I do this for this person? Yes, and I want to, and I'm willing to. And because I'm in my full balanced self, I'm able to do that without depleting from the self. But if I'm here and I'm being asked to do something that depletes from myself for them, but I'm not in a space where I can do that, or I'm not capable of doing that, and you start doing that, you start diminishing your own energy and bringing yourself down in this level. They're up here. They asked you to do something. They didn't demand it. You could have said no, but now they're like, hey, I didn't ask you to do that. I didn't ask you to give so much that you took away from yourself. Somebody who loves you, your actual partner, your actual lover, will never ask that of you. They will always understand when you say, I really wanted to do this for you, but I wasn't able to because I needed to look out for myself in this situation first. I really wanted to finish getting all of your laundry folded and put away, but I realized I hadn't eaten today. And so I stopped and made something to eat. Would you like some? I'll get to the laundry later. And your partner, a perfect partner, the partner that matches you at that energy, is going to say, oh my goodness, never worry about the laundry. Always go stop and get something to eat. I would love to share this meal with you. I'll help you fold the laundry later. That's love. That's true partnership. That's what we're looking for in a match. And if we're not feeling that way, if you are with a partner who does not feel that they are capable of reciprocating your energy, they don't feel like an equal match in that energy. If you're up here and you're trying to meet them there, but they're down here, eventually you're going to bring yourself down here. You're not going to be feeling your authentic self. You're going to burn out. You're going to run out of that energy. You can't keep hoping that they're going to finally recognize how you prioritize them, and then they're going to prioritize you, and then you're going to fill each other's cups. That is so idealistic, but that's just not how it works. It starts by filling your own cup first. And when you fill your own cup, and you're overflowing, you're attracting and drawing in the match that goes, me too. I feel great too, but I'm overflowing too. I have some extra love to give, and it's not going to take from me. So I'm up here and you're up here, and I've got this overflow, and it's all yours, baby. And they're like, I'm overflowing. It's all yours, baby. All right. And you're sharing, and it's mutual, and it feels wonderful. That is a twin flame connection. That is a union activated twin flame connection. That's what we seek when we talk about your soulmate or your lover. Soulmates aren't necessarily romantic, but they can be equally rewarding, and they can be equally balanced and giving. It should feel like that, but often a soulmate is going to involve some kind of a connection. There's some information, there's some lesson that's to be gained from this connection throughout your life. They have reasons and seasons, not necessarily lifetimes. And on a different note, I also see a lot of mention of things like karmics. And I want to address that because I've had this conversation with people. Karmics aren't necessarily soulmates at all. Karmics are purely lessons. Karmics are, you did a thing, you experienced a thing, you are not in your authentic self, you are not truly balanced. Maybe it was in another life, maybe it was in this one. But at any rate, this is a pattern of behavior that needs to be broken. And a karmic comes into your life to bring your awareness to this pattern that needs to be broken, to bring this cycle. And very often we sit there in these lessons and cycles absolutely miserable, going, but it used to be. Oh, no. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much for the experience. I am so grateful that you came into my life. I just feel like maybe our energy has lost its cohesion at this point, and I'd like to see if we're able to go forward and separate and become our best selves, because that's important to me. And they would be like, no, I hate you, because that's what karmics do, but not always. I'm just being silly. Sometimes they do. And it is painful, and sometimes it doesn't feel, it's the right thing to do, but it's still difficult. It doesn't feel right. But if we do not open up that space, and we do not get back into our authentic self, and we do not find that balanced high energy, and we do not fill that cup back up, we're not going to be able to be in this space that we ultimately seek. That's all for today. Much love and blessings to you all.